Pacific region. This will be the first one, I believe, the debut one for Menki in the Americas region. Let's see if this works out, because
She's been banned once, I believe, in the game 1, but didn't quite come through in game 2, but is a great shot calling hero.
yeah, they just need to make sure that they keep their eyes checked out for Destro as well as for Lumesh, right? Because there's a lot of entry points that Influence Rage can kind of take up. They have the dive available from the Zhang Fei, they have the dive available from Sony on that Charlotte, and most importantly, they have the dive from Raikou with the team roll.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate that Lamesh didn't quite get his time to shine on the Maya Shiranui, but hey, if you know what works for you, get that Lady Chen and then just give it all over to Destro, right? We've known time and time again for Destro to have a fantastic performance in the farm lane, so why not give it a go? You're literally teetering on the edge of losing that 10K dollars, $10,000, and losing your chance to get into that KC play-ins.
Yep, so at this point, looks like they have managed to get the invade through. So Influence Rage, they start off with one of the camps being stolen. This is a great start for them.
Yeah, so far so good. The Chow really showing and holding her own in that mid lane, but Lamesh is definitely just negating that minion wave, so we can hope for maybe either some sort of roam or just maybe a replenish from Lamesh while they wait for that next minion wave to come through in the mid lane. But we see there the recall comes from the Chow, but nobody takes it. But Dune here potentially looking for a engage.
Yeah, they're going to match each other's moves at this point. Raikou going to keep pace with Andy as well. Both of them are level 4. No big difference in EXP just yet.
Not just yet, but if it's going to be tried and tested, and we know how Raikou plays, he could be ahead of 2 levels before we even know it, right? We see the Cannon Blast come through there, trying to stop the engage from the Chow, but not quite enough. A lot of damage going on to Billy there. That's quite risky on the side of Leviathan, but okay, the Chow getting caught out here. First blood goes over to Leviathan. Lamesh is back to basics right now. He's able to get that first blood.
Yeah, this is a rare mistake from Cozy, right? This is going to open up the doors for Leviathan. They're going to access that Azure Golem as well. Now, Raikou is going to have a taste of his own medicine here.
Oh yes, they're able to still maintain that Azure Golem though, so that's probably the better part of the objective for Influence Rage, is just making sure they're able to procure their own Azure Golem and not give it over to the side of Leviathan. But that was a nice cannon blast we saw there from Billy trying to stop Zhang Fei going in, but it was still a non-starter.
Yeah, they need to be careful for the side of Destro here. The wraparound is coming.
Wraparound coming there. We see Billy there as well. Destro in with Petroni and Villau. Is it going to be a takedown? Yes, it is. They are able to get that takedown back, but it is a 1-1 trade though. Raikou does fall, but they're able to take out Destro, which, when we think of a late game hero like the Lady Sun, this is where we kind of put those pit stops on the Lady Sun.
Yep, a little of a stunt down here, and it looks like Sony will have eyes on the Maxi and Lumesh, so he knows that there are there is a numbers advantage at this point for the side of Leviathan in the top lane at least.
Yeah, speaking of numbers advantage, there's not really an advantage in that gold lead, though. They are pretty much neck and neck at that 9.7k goal. But okay, Destro coming through with a kill onto Petroni. But here we go, Raikou is getting that revenge tour onto the side of Leviathan right now. Billy uses the Cannon Blast to try and escape. Lamesh giving out some damage with those abilities from the Lady Chen.
Yeah, so at this point, nice catch. Once again, that's how they caught him out with the things inside the box. But that means there is no thing inside the box for the first neutral objective of the game. Now, how is this going to impact Influence Rage and Leviathan? That's the big question here.
Yeah, we're already seeing that Leviathan's going for that Tyrant, right? They've been starved of the Tyrant for the past 2 games, so they need to start getting those neutral objectives under their belts just to try and get that priority in the early game. But just because Leviathan's able to get that priority doesn't mean they're always going to maintain it, right? That was their mistake in game 1, Kin.
Yeah, at this point, even with the first neutral objective, they're still very close in gold.
Still very close in gold. The either Whirlpool does come through there as well, just bringing Charlotte down to that bot lane and able to get that T1 as well, because that was a great call. They have no minions in the clash lane, which enables that Charlotte is free, because otherwise she would just be there clashing away with the Ogryn. So good call there from Influence Rage.
Yeah, big win here. So they do make the difference marker here. It is going to be a goal lead for them. Even though they lost that first neutral objective, they can start working towards the top lane. Everyone is going there now.
Yes, Charlotte here. Sony and Maxi already having a little bit of a brawl here, trading blows with a path of passage, sorry, from the Orgrin. And there we go. Andy is trying to take the Crimson Golem as well. Manages to do it. There's that dream roll from Raikou, keeping him out of there, keeping him safe. Those bubbles are meant to be keeping him safe, but they are also deadly.
Yeah, Dream Bubble, actually one of the underrated skills that people always underestimate, right? When he throws it out, it does deal a considerable amount of damage. And at this point, Raikou is level 9. And with the level differential, it is going to be quite painful.
Quite painful indeed. And what is also painful is Zhang Fei taking a bit of damage there from Andy and Billy. Billy's still in the bush there. There comes the Cannon Blast. There is no Unruly Blade to come through just yet. From the side of Leviathan, we have the Chow here, Cozy, looking to give a hand to the Zhang Fei. But again, we're seeing some pressure from Leviathan, Ken.
Yeah, but take a look at what Petroni is doing. They're leaving him alone once again.
Leaving baby in the corner, and that is bad, right? They are looking to try and take this T2, and they've done a lot of considerable damage to it as well, which is troublesome for the side of Leviathan. But there we go, the other Whirlpool does come through, so the Chow, using that access from anywhere on the map, is able to try and force away the side of Leviathan. Lamesh trying to get the knock up here onto Raikou, is successful with it as well. Cannon Blast coming through, is able to sort of stunt that engage, and we can kind of see Destro rolling in as well, trying to do a lot of damage onto Raikou. Raikou's able to get out alive thanks to the Chow, which really just shows the capability of this hero.
Yeah, big save, a lot of attention in the mid lane as well, but top lane is being pushed in at the same time.
Yes, it seems like a bit of a brawl, right? This is probably the most brawliest we've seen both of these teams, and you can imagine the anxiety in this match, right? Because there's a lot on the line. Influence Rage already up 2 points, and then Leviathan are just one mistake away from getting completely wiped out of the Open Series.
Yep, dancing on knife's edge at this point, to be honest, because the goalie is just 1,000 at this point. But when there is a big team fight win for the side of Influence Rage, it's going to cost them a much bigger deficit for sure.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing you don't want, right? Influence Rage just to make sure they are able to, well, just maintaining that goal lead, right? That's the kind of thing that Leviathan need to do in this early game. We are going into the 8-minute mark. Raikou going 1-to-1 with Andy. They're already a level ahead. We see that Sony's coming in with the engage as well. The Umbrella Blade comes through to save the day for Andy. The Overlord's coming through. Are they going to steal it? Oh, it is going to go over to Influence Rage. No crucial kill theft coming to the side of Leviathan.
Yep, by the smallest of margins, right? 16 health left on that Overlord, and this is one objective. The equalizing objective that managed to get.
Yes, we're having a bit of a tit for tat here. Oh, okay, nice bait there from the Chow, is able to recall Raikou out of that team fight, taking a lot of brunt there. We're seeing a 1v1 between Maxi and Sony up into the clash lane. The path of passing does come through to save Maxi right now, and we see that Sony's forced back that T1 to keep it alive.
Yep, they're ready to get another fight started, right? Raikou has been reset. He's ready to join the fight. Passive is on board as well. He does not have the Dream Roam just yet, but they're going to try and establish a little bit more control around the map before they start working on this Tyrant.
There we go. The T2 does fall for the side of Leviathan, which can only cause for disaster right now. We're seeing also that Petroni is able to build the Eternity Blade, as well as looking to build a armor-piercing item for the likes of the Dune and the Orgrim. But again, easy work made of those neutral objectives. Second one going over to Influence Rage.
Yep, across the board, I think slight lead for the side of Influence Rage, just based on EXP as well. But gold, a much different story. It's going to be 3,000, 2,000 ahead for the side of Influence Rage, and they might be looking for more. The Lao does have this ultimate up.
Okay, so they was able to get the T1 for Leviathan there, so that's great. That's going to get them a little bit further ahead with the gold. The Eye of the Whirlpool does come through. They're kind of fearful of that Eye of the Whirlpool, and rightfully so on the side of Leviathan, but they've got to recall because we see Petroni is trying to lead that Vanguard up into the high ground turret in the farm lane, at the same time trying to steal away that Azure Golem, which is going to be huge, at a detriment to Leviathan. Andy here, and Raiku's in the thick of it. Same with Bilal. They go in with an engage. The CC Immunity comes through the Dream Roll onto Andy to try and get a kill there, but nothing quite makes it into fruition for the side of Influence Rage other than that T1 in the mid lane, which is huge right now. We have the Shadow Overlord and the Shadow Tyrant onto the Gorge.
Yeah, but they need to get out now, because at this point, Bilal does not have his ultimate available. His passive is really low, and I don't think it's an ideal fight for the side of Leviathan.
Yeah, it's probably best for them not to take the fight right now because they don't have the lane priority either. So there is no sort of cause for concern for the side of Influence Rage. We have that Sony's trying to push that T1 as well. So that's also a cause for concern for Leviathan. So do they take the neutral objective? Do they allow that T1 to fall? Right now, they're pretty much desperate for anything. So a T1 for a neutral objective, especially a Shadow Tyrant, would be a good trade for them, right? Especially going into this next engage. Cannon Blast coming through. Dream Roll goes on to Billy as well. There we go. Zhongfei with the Bilal just struggling to try and get the kill onto Billy, but that's not going to be enough. The Chow gets the kill onto Andy, so that is a 1-0 trade. They get the mid lane T1, they get the Clash lane T1, and it looks like that's setting up that Shadow Tyrant.
That's a masterclass in playing the map from the side of Influence Rage, right? You pull them in, reset the Tyrant, and allow Sony to really just make the world's difference on the top lane, and also using the Eye of the Whirlpool to make sure that he's able to join the fight as well. Very good play coming out from Influence Rage.
It's that thing you can't sort of abandon, right? With the Chow, you can kind of say, oh, well, Charlotte's taking that T1. That means she's going to be absent from the team fight. Then you forget that the Chow has the Eye of the Whirlpool, and then all of a sudden, that goes out the window. And right now, it looks like the Leviathan are really being sort of caught on the back foot.
Yep, guys, if you're playing ranked games with me, that's what I'm looking for, right? We're not looking for fights, we're looking for control. That's what we want. That's how we win the fights.
Absolutely. I mean, it's working for Influence Rage, so those watching in the chat definitely do the same as them. Billy looking pretty low as well. I think that is going to be a kill onto Billy. He's able to get out with just a little bit of life. Petroni flushes in. It is going to be a trade for the side of Influence Rage. That is a 2-1 trade. That is very good for the side of Influence Rage. We still see that Bilal has just gone down. It is now Cozy, Reiku, and Sony still up. The high ground turret in that Clash lane is still alive.
Yeah, but look at what they've done, right? So yes, Leviathan win the team fight, but what can they do now? There's nothing left to do but to defend. They can't even push.
Yes, unfortunately, that is the predicament they've been put in there, Kim, right? So Leviathan, I mean, Influence Rage knew what they were doing, right? They knew that if Petroni was able to get in there and get the kill onto Billy, it meant that there was going to be a bit of a further team fight. And in the end, it was a 2-2 trade, but it definitely went into the favor of Influence Rage, as you can see, and as you've just rightfully said there, Kim, that those lanes were all pushed in the favor of Influence Rage, and still looking like that.
Perfect gameplay, and you know what? Petroni has had collected that Siege Breaker into his arms, into his kit and inventory. He's a pain to deal with, if I'm not wrong. His last item should be the Daybreaker, so he is just going to lay the hurt.
Oh yeah, a whole world of pain awaits the side of Leviathan when we see that 6 items stacked Petroni on the Lung as well. But you can kind of see the gold difference right between Lung and Lady Sun. It's a whole 1.4k, which is huge at this point. But overall, the gold difference is around about that 6k gold difference for the side of Influence Rage, which again is huge going into that 14-minute mark.
Yep, they're looking for the opening into the base on the side of Leviathan, right? And now with the Shadow Vanguard going to be spawning across all 3 lanes and a Shadow Overlord. This time, they're going to place it on the top lane. And this is good because Sony is already working on that pressure on the bot.
Pressure on the bot. We do see the Conductor of Souls come through for the Ogre and trying to just take as much health off from Sony as possible, but that HP regen really saving his life there. Andy taking the brunt of that damage. Ogre being forced back to the high ground turret because if he does not go back, it could mean that Influence Rage is able to capitalize and take
Andy.
down the higher ground turret. Andy is in major trouble now, but he's looking at him soaking so much damage, but Petroni comes through. That damage is just a little bit too much. The Shadow Overlords are into the top side of the map as well. And Leviathan kind of looking like a deer in the headlights right now. Their access is at the base. The Eye of the Whirlpool does come through once more. Everybody's here on the side of Leviathan, and everybody's going down on the side of, everybody's here on the side of Influence Rage, and Leviathan is going down, and the Vanguard is here. Double kill it is. Not going to be an ace, but Influence Rage confirm their place into the KC play-ins. Welcome, boys, representing Brazil.
Congratulations.